Hello guys and welcome back to Custom Gamer. My name is Des and this is the show where we talk about level design while playing cool maps. Today we're playing a map that was released on the 30th of August on the year 2000. It's called The Final Threat. It's by Andrew Than Palmer. And this is one of the first maps I really remember from when I got into Quake, and it was the first one that really blew me away. It really was a kind of generational leap from what we'd seen before. The brushwork was so much more high res, there was curves everywhere, the lighting was fantastic. And it's just a great showpiece for what Quake can be as a piece of game design. Unfortunately, due to the map's age, it does have a few compatibility issues with older engines, so I'm using an engine called FitzHack for this recording. There's a link in the description below the video if you want to check it out. It just fixes a couple of the lift positions get a little bit broken in modern engines, which is unfortunate. But this engine runs the map fine. So let's go and have a look what Than has created for us. So the reason I picked this map to play is because it's currently the Let's Play map of the week over on Funk message board. You can check out the thread for it and write your comments in it about this map. I think it's an absolute classic. Like I mentioned in the intro, I've played it so many times and it never really gets old. It's a really cool map to play. Now the layout is quite interesting. It's very vertical. The map feels huge when you're playing it, but it's actually fairly compact. There's a lot of verticality going on here. Generally you're either looking up into new areas or from new areas looking back down into older parts of the level. There's lots of interesting sight lines as well, kind of windows and holes in walls where you can see earlier parts of the level. And generally you're always kind of opening up new doors and lifts to get back to old parts of the level as you go through. I really like the intro here because it gives you a couple of options. You can go straight out into this kind of hub area here and have a huge fight, or you can turn around and drop down behind you into the little alcove behind the lift and grab an armor and some supplies, which is generally the best method to go about it, but it's nice that you have an option to just go in guns blazing if you so desire. Now the texture set used in the map is the IK base texture set by Ike Karanen. I probably butchered his name again. I did a video of a level of his not too long ago using his IK blue texture set. This is his IK base texture set, which is one of my favourite kind of sci-fi texture sets in Quake. Really nice palette of colours, really works well with the colours supported by the Quake engine. There's also some interesting additions in this map. You've got a new type of enforcer which was used in Operation Earth Magic, which is a mod I really need to play through at some point. But essentially it's an enforcer with a power shield, and you can only damage him when the power shield goes down. And of course it lowers when he attacks you, so there is a timing there where you can get in and do a lot of damage. I'll spot him in just a moment as I round the corner here. Interestingly, this outdoor area here was the part that really blew me away about the map when I first played it. There's just so many curves everywhere. It looks relatively tame in comparison to what you see in Quake these days, but at the time it was truly mind-blowing. As I derp my way down into the slime, yeah, that didn't happen. You can see here you have to wait for his shield to lower and then take him out. Of course, in Quake's greatest tradition, there is a secret under the lift. This one confused me a little at first because you drop down there to get the health, and then I figured you'd have to run through the slime to get back up. But as it turns out, you get teleported back up if you wait for the lift to come back down on top of you. Which is kind of strange. I don't know how many people just waited for the lift to crush them like that, but it does work. Yeah, just absolutely fantastic brushwork throughout the entire map. Reminds me of a Neki map actually, just all the textures are aligned perfectly, all the brushwork is on grid, lovely curves everywhere. Just the technical talent required to do stuff like this in Quake is, or any brush-based engine I should probably say, is fairly immense. The map is fairly old school in terms of its gameplay balance. You're never really fighting hordes of enemies. It's always kind of fairly tight close quarters fights with kind of you know, 2 to 5 enemies. It never really dumps a whole bunch of enemies on you, which is generally what's trending more and more in modern Quake maps. But while these new enforcers are fairly cool to fight, they can feel a little bit buggy at times, with things like you'll shoot them when their shield's down but you won't do any damage. The implementation isn't quite 100% accurate, I think, which can lead to some strangeness. It's nothing game breaking, but it just means it can be a slight annoyance when you feel like you've got a direct shot on a guy and it doesn't work. So some of these shortcuts can feel a little bit strange when you can't actually use any of them yet. And at some of the buttons opening doors, like there were slabs blocking these doors I just went through, but sometimes when you hit a button you're not quite sure what opened up, you just hear a door open, then you have to go and find it. This fight can be quite nasty if you don't take out that special enforcer fairly quickly. I like the fact that you see the crate here with the weapon inside it. This is cool kind of foreshadowing of crates later on in the map as well. It's kind of a recurring theme where you'll see a crate and you'll either move it to retrieve an item from inside, or some kind of mechanism will open that moves the crate around the map and you have to go and find where it ends up. And there's always kind of an item or something useful in these crates. I really like that. There are 6 secrets in the map. I honestly found the secrets very easy to find in this level. Maybe it's because I've played it so many times, but I haven't played this map for a year or two. So maybe it is just me remembering the secrets just off the top of my head, but I did find them very easily. It's generally in all the typical places, like if there's a pile of slime, check in it for secret holes. In water under lifts, all the usual culprits. Generally secrets in more modern releases are a lot more insidious and require a lot more exploration and problem solving to find. Though I do kind of like the mega health secret here, so you can, it's hidden in plain sight is a great phrase to describe these kind of secrets where you can see it, you just have to work out how to get to it. In the mega health case you have to do a little bit of precision jumping, which I'm terrible at in Quake, but somehow managed to do first time here. I was very happy about that. So after picking up the gold key we can drop down here. And you heard the Shambler teleport in, which is a little bit of a worry, but it's not too hard to take them out. Interestingly, from where you are at the top there's lots of different ways back into the gold key door room depending on which route you take, which I really like. Generally you're always coming in from the top though, so the Shamblers aren't really that hard to deal with. You've got plenty of cover to duck back into. I can go and explore the gold key area. And again we've re-emerged back into the original hub of the map. Again with this super vertical design, it's really used a lot to kind of make the map feel huge but actually occupy a fairly small space. This room here is really cool. There's lots and lots of curvy designs again. Really cool to look at. And really appreciate the kind of technical brushwork here, it's really nice. Another easy secret there to grab some rockets. Now grenade launcher's kind of awkward to fight these guys with because it'll just bounce off their shield most of the time, so generally I find the best tactic is to just get up close to them with the double barrel shotgun and just wait for them to drop their shield. Seems like the best way to do it here. Now we found the exit door, and now we just have to find a way to open it. There's only one way to go here, so it's fairly easy. And again, this corridor kind of links back to an earlier part of the level, so if you look out of the window, you've got that large outdoor area with all the rocks and the curvy designs. You're kind of at the very top of the map right now. This is Than's little troll moment. So the crates have always had good stuff in them, so I can imagine players going right up to that door when they hit the button there, and there's a spawn there. Comedy spawn. So yeah, that's where we were at the beginning of the map down there. There's some really nice shapes here in this outside area. You can have a look in a minute once I've taken care of these fiends, but there's some just really interesting shapes made out of the brushwork. Something Quake is absolutely fantastic at, just big bulky architecture that still looks fantastic. It's got this really imposing feel that a lot of modern games, even though they have like big structures and architecture, they've kind of lost the real kind of heavy, chunky feeling that Quake architecture has. I think it's something that's really, really hard to reproduce when you get such a high fidelity detail that modern games have. It's really, really hard to get that same feeling that something is big. Now we've got a fairly classic arena. This one is actually time limited, or should I say time controlled, so it doesn't wait until you've killed one wave before it spawns in the next. So you really are on a kind of time trial here, that this part of just completely fill up with enemies if you don't kill them fast enough. Which is, I think it's a pretty cool way to do an arena, especially when you're enclosed in it like this. Whereas generally arenas are usually controlled by when the player kills X amount of enemies spawn in the next wave. This is another interesting way to do arenas. And we can grab the silver key, which opens us up back to here, and we can jump in the exit. So this map is both technically excellent and really enjoyable to play gameplay wise as well. It's beautiful to look at. It's one of my favourite base maps ever, I think, and considering it was made in 2000, it's quite a tall order. So I really hope you enjoy playing this map, guys. Don't forget to go and post in the Funk message boards thread, as this is the Let's Play map of the week. There's a link in the description below the video, along with a download link, and a link to the Bits hack engine if you want to play this level without bugs. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.